What's up everyone and welcome back to Boxmining Weekly. Today is Sunday and it's a great time to recap the major events in cryptocurrency throughout the week. First, we're going to start off with a market recap, just look at what's happening right now on the market, followed by coin with Segwit. So Segwit has finally activated on Bitcoin this week and it's a major tech news. This is really important. I do want to cover kind of the ramifications of this. Next up, we have the Korea-led rally. So cryptocurrency is rallying up, especially privacy-based coins. Right now we have Dash and Monero rallying up, and we're going to look into the influence of Korea over this. Next up, ICO regulations. So both a lot of countries around the world, Canada, USA, and also China, they're potentially going to issue out new regulations for ICOs. I'm going to take a look at how that's going to impact ICOs in the future. I do have an interview of Max Keiser, the Max Keiser of Keiser Report. So I posted that up. The interview is live on YouTube, so you can catch that on my channel as well. I'm going to put a link down below. But he's super cool and he loves crypto, and that's important to remember, that crypto stands together. And I think that was a key message that I took from that interview. Lastly, the privacy coins discussion, District 0x and 0x itself, and we also have upgrade time at the end. I like to say that everything on this episode is my personal opinion and not financial advice. So let's start off with the market first of all. So we have Bitcoins with just sideways trading. Bitcoin has pretty much a value of 4,340. It's near its all-time high. If you look at this week has been quite a rally and quite a journey for Bitcoin as well. It dropped down on Tuesday, dropped to almost 3,700-ish level, and now it's back up to 4,300. So that eventual rally in the end. Segwit didn't really impact Bitcoin's price, but right now it is at its all-time high. It just seems to be consistently high in the later half of this week. In terms of who's trading Bitcoin, we actually have Monero / Bitcoin being the top here. In fact, probably the only one to the best one to fear is bitconnect. We also have the Korean exchange Bithumb at 2.66% of the trade volume. It just seems that Bitcoin doesn't have a major trade volume driver unlike other coins. Now we have coins such as Litecoin, Dash, and Monero going up this week, entire week. And we have Ethereum at 337, so it's holding steady at above this $300 price level. Bitcoin Cash is dropping a bit to around 593. Ripple dropping to 20 cents. We also have Litecoin up to $56, quite a bit increase. Dash is up. Dash actually passed 400 yesterday and it dropped a little bit, and now it's back up at 381. It is a privacy-based coin, so that is probably one of the reasons why it's up. Iota has a little bit of sideways trading. NEM we have at around 27 cents, so staying pretty much steady with a slight increase. Now with NEO, we have NEO dropping down to $38, and then of course Ethereum Classic with a little bit of a rise to 15.6. Lisk is on a rampage right now. Lisk, after its rebranding, is going to this new high of around $7.78. Quite a crazy increase of almost 50%. That's just utterly insane. And Zcash is kind of keeping its gains from yesterday at 276. Stratus is rising to $6.4. So quite a good weekend for cryptocurrency. Just a lot of increase in various cryptocurrencies. There are some drops here and there, but overall, on a whole, right now we have a market cap of $156 billion for cryptocurrencies, and Bitcoin dominance is standing at 46%. So let's take a look at Segwit activation. So after Segwit activation, a lot of people are super excited, especially the developers. Max Keiser did raise the interim price, to 10,000. He's super excited, as you can see in my interview. And of course, the developers are the most excited. If you look at the crazy stream on the World Crypto Network, they were popping champagne, having glass, and taking a shot every time a block was formed. The reason for this was because that Segwit took ages and ages to activate. It was something that was meant to be delivered almost last year, but due to this dispute with the miners and the core team, it never really got deployed. Right now, Segwit itself, you can generate a new Segwit address and you have cheaper transactions. It's not very cheap. Compare that with Litecoin, Dash, or Ethereum. It's not very cheap at all. But one thing that Segwit allows for future technologies such as the Lightning Network, so it's off-chain transactions, or atomic swaps, so this exchange between Litecoin and potentially Bitcoin and other coins with Segwit, and this is just a decentralized exchange that could possibly happen. So Bitcoin Segwit doesn't immediately bring that crazy drop in the price of sending Bitcoin. Right now, I don't really think it's advisable to even send Bitcoin for $5 transactions. You're going to have a fee that's almost just as much. So if you want to do that, just use an altcoin like Dash or like Litecoin. But what Bitcoin's long-term value proposition is that once the Lightning Network is activated, you can have almost next to free transactions, but that's going to probably take almost up to a year for a good Lightning Network wallet to be created, and that's going to be a while. So that's going to be like decades in terms of this crypto trading environment. Maybe that's why the market wasn't very excited for Segwit, but of course the developers are, because they can move on to the next part of their project. In terms of Bitcoin Cash, it has this crazy seesaw mechanic going on right now. So if you look at the blocks per hour, this is for Bitcoin Cash. It is in blue. So you can see that Bitcoin Cash has this crazy rise in numbers blocks of hours and mining empty blocks, etc. And then a crazy drop in number of blocks per second. The target blocks per second is around 6 blocks per second. That's 10 minutes a block. So Bitcoin is more or less holding steady on that. But what's happening with Litecoin is that there is an emergency change in difficulty that does kind of trigger when there's not enough blocks being formed. So that's what's happening here. But the moment the difficulty readjusts, people are like, oh man, this is so exciting. Let's go back onto it. There's programs that can automatically switch. Because the difficulty drops on Bitcoin after this kind of Bitcoin Cash after this period where not many blocks are formed, then immediately after that, the difficulty drops so much that you can almost mine a block every other 2 minutes. And that's what we're seeing here, a 30 blocks per minute mine. That's almost 1 block every 2 minutes. These blocks are mostly empty. So it's going through this crazy seesaw right now, and miners are rightfully maximizing their profit of mining. It's a lot of people have criticized miners for doing that, but honestly, it's a business, and when you're a business, you gotta think of just feeding your employees and everything. You gotta make sure you have the maximum profit. So miners are doing what is in their best interest and what they should do in their best interest, which is just finding the optimal way to mine something. Of course, this probably isn't good for Bitcoin Cash, but it's interesting to see this happen, and it's interesting to see how Bitcoin Cash responds to this crazy seesaw mechanic that's happening right now. Next up this week is about the Korean power, the Korean push for cryptocurrencies. Monero this week, after the news got announced that it was going to go and launch on the Korean exchange BitHum, the price went up like crazy. It was just a literal wall. Look at that. That's a literal wall on the Bitcoin price. Right now, BitHum is allowing deposits of Monero, but the trading hasn't really happened yet. So everyone's waiting for that. But that actually brought up, not sure if that's exactly the full reason, but we also see other privacy coins gaining a lot of attention. For example, Dash. Dash went up literally almost 20-30% yesterday, and a lot of that is going on the Korean exchange BitHum. So 62% of trade volume for Dash is actually on BitHum right now. So that's absolutely crazy how much Korean interest there is for these coins. So privacy coins are the clear winners this week. We also have Zcash as well. It just rose quite a lot. So it's going to be exciting to see, and it's going to be interesting to keep an eye on Korea. Korea is becoming a new powerhouse along with China as well. Next up, we have ICO regulations. So we're going to bundle this together. So Canadian regulators say that many ICO tokens meet the securities definition, so they might have future restrictions on that and apply restrictions for securities onto ICO. So that's one thing. China also is potentially having new rules that could lead to ICO investigations. One thing is for sure that there are a lot of ICOs launching this month. I'm going to do some videos covering how to look at and investigate ICOs and kind of relate that to my gaming background experience, because obviously I do have startup experience and not all startups work out, and it's important to kind of have some identifiers for that. So those are my personal kind of tips for that, and that's probably going to come up this week as well. Of course, I also have videos about upcoming privacy coins comparing them, District 0x, 0x, and tons more coins that you guys have been suggesting. It's just a lot of research needs to be done for this, and I'm really glad I can do this with you guys. You guys helped me so much in researching these coins, talking on Slack, and just building up knowledge about crypto in general. And I hope you guys are having a great time on this cryptocurrency journey with me. One thing I did learn from the Max Keiser interview is that Max Keiser has been in crypto for a long time, and he's pushing crypto over gold, digital gold over gold. And crypto is one big thing, and that's one thing that we have to remember. Sometimes we get so excited about various cryptocurrencies that we form these factions, but with Max, it's very clear that this is crypto versus the big banks, crypto versus fiat, and any money that travels from fiat into crypto is a win. And I think that's one thing that's very important, and I do recommend you guys watch that video. He's doing this 18 series trip across America into the American heartland, talking to various people, and he'll be sponsored by the Dash DAO. Dash DAO actually pulled together $500,000 to sponsor his trip, and that's pretty amazing. That's the biggest crypto funding event for ever, and it's going to be exciting to see him topping up crypto on this trip. That's definitely something I am excited for, and I'll definitely be following that. Lastly, it's upgrade time. I'm going to upgrade an Ethereum contract. If you're new to my channel, I have a 3% discount affiliate code for Genesis Mining. If you use that code, you get a discount on both old and new contracts for Genesis Mining. If you do upgrade, leave a comment below of how much hash power you upgraded and your code as well, and I'll add you to the lucky draw list. I'm going to draw a name from random. Congratulations, got a minute. I'm also going to clear the list today, so there'll be a new bunch of winners next week. And I'm sending that off. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and I hope you had a great crypto week. It's been a huge rally at the end of the week, and I'm really excited and pumped up to see what can happen next week. Now, next week is going to be a huge week. I'm going to do tons more cryptocurrencies. I'm going to talk about more different concepts and compare them. So I would love to hear more comments down below. I would love to do all the coins for you. I'm going to do daily videos about different coins, different concepts, and try to do some interviews as well in the process. It's been a super crazy adventure. Guys, this adventure was absolutely crazy. I never imagined, almost 4 months ago when I started making YouTube channel, that I'll get to a stage where I can even talk to someone like Max Keiser or the CEO of 10x. It's been a phenomenal journey, and all of this is because of you guys. I don't doubt for 1 minute that I could have done this without your support and without your suggestions of who to contact, and even have people helping me out whenever I go somewhere. People would just help me out and get me connected and get these interviews with people. And I want to continue that journey. I want more live videos, and I want to help you ask questions and help you interview and be your eye to different events. Next month, it will be huge. I'm going to do 2 different events, one in Beijing, one in possibly Kiev, the D10E conference, and of course, one in London as well. I'm going to cover the Dash and the World Blockchain Conference there. So it's so exciting, and I hope you guys can follow me and support me on that journey. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to subscribe. See you next time.